everybody. This has been a long time coming. So I wanted to get you some insight into the textbook and how to use it and what my expectation is. So let me start with this. I personally get to the textbook by going into the search bar and typing Mastering Biology, which takes you to a link like this, which takes you here where you can sign into Mastering. All right. If you haven't registered yet, you can register with the student access. Use your school email address. Always use your school email address. Use the same password. That way, you always know how to get in. If for some reason you lose access to this, I cannot help you. You have to go through their assistance because technically it's your account, so I can't have access to it, which makes sense. So once you sign up and you're in, you should be in a class. I put in the class code, but it's called AP Biology 2026, right? So the class code is on Google Classroom. I'll actually show you where I put it. Sorry. There we go. All right. So if you go to Classroom, it is in classwork. Textbook codes. So it says use your school, use the code assigned to you on the spreadsheet, use the code next to your name, and then the student registration instructions are attached. And it gives you a link, all this stuff, okay? This is the course ID. So all the information you need to get in is here. The textbook codes, just want to talk about that real quick. You'll notice it's like a crazy code. Each one of you has a name next to it. That is the code that you use. Do not use another code. If for some reason you can't get on, let me know. You may notice that the people at the bottom have the same code. That's actually okay. The last code is meant for 24 students. And that's important because we had a whole other class sign up this year. I need you, however, once you use the code, if you have a problem, don't just use the code again. Let me know so that we don't run out, all right? If you have problems signing up, let me know. If you have problems logging in, let me know. I'll tell you where you need to go, but you're going to need to go through them for help. So let's talk a little bit about what you actually do with the textbook. So when you look at your checklist, you can see here that you have the videos you have to watch. You have the topics that you're supposed to understand. And then down here, you have the textbook chapters, right? Now, I'm a bit of a realist. Like, I need you to read the textbooks, but I also understand that there is a ton of material, and this is not your only class. And that is not just going to be true now, that is also going to be true when you go to college. So when you are in our course during the part that says Course Home, your menu might look a little bit different, like mine has all the assignments and it has some interaction stuff, but it should be roughly the same. You should have an option over here that says e-text. So if you click on that, it'll be like, oh, say hello to Pearson Plus. It takes you to another website for no reason. And then you click Open Pearson Plus, which will open a new tab. And this is taking you to the textbook. Now, the textbook's actually really awesome in its interaction, right? So, oh man, it looks entirely different. There we go. Over here, so there's all this stuff. You feel free to play around with this. This is not stuff that I've used. It's actually kind of new. But over here, you see the image of the textbook. So I'm going to go Open e-textbook. And once I'm in the textbook, over here, this little typical menu thing, this gets me all the chapters. So if you notice up here for the summer assignment, right, you're supposed to do 20, 22, and 23. So if I wanted to, I could come, what is going on here? Stop doing that. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. So if you go over here to the textbook, so I can scroll down chapter 20, okay? So chapter 20 is phylogeny. See how it divides it into sections, 20.1, 20.2, 20.3, 20.4, okay? So right here, the last thing is the chapter 20 review. So I always suggest clicking on the chapter 20 review, This has a summary of the key concepts, right? Each one walks you through it. Go through all of them, all right? Then you'll notice at the bottom it has questions. See if you can answer it. It's not a quiz, but if you take the moment to try to answer it and then find your answer, right, it helps you sort of stay on time. You'll also notice that some of the key terms here have links that take you to the glossary, right? And they explain to you what they are. And then you can just go back, right? You will notice here, there's a vocab self-quiz. I thoroughly recommend using those if you would like to and you find them to be helpful. I also want to point that when you go back here, so I've got chapter 20, see this thing that says test your understanding? This is optional, but this is a terrific way to get into the meat of the chapter without having to obsess over every detail. So if you go down here, you've just got questions, right? And then when you get to the end, you've got a link to the answers, okay? And then there's even short answer. You don't have to write the essay out. Just think about it. Say to yourself, how can I answer this? What is the question? And then it'll offer you all the answers right here, all right? So this is another great way after you read it to see if you know it. Now, the ultimate goal here is after you do the videos, after you do the textbook, you check off what you do and you do not feel comfortable with. And then you come down here and you look at the optional assignments. And the optional assignments can say to you, hey, I feel like I need to understand this more, so I'm going to do more work for this topic. And you will notice in the optional assignments, I have the specific textbook chapters. So if you don't feel like you understand what it says up here for phylogeny, go down and this time read 20.1, 20.2, 20.3, not just read the chapter review, read the individual sections. At the end of each one of these sections, there's concept check questions. Do those. And then the last thing that I have aligned to the textbook is these things I call online assignments, and they are tied to this. So this one says online assignment for this section. That's 7.9. So if you go up here, e-text, right? Actually, no, I want to go back to the textbook. So if I go back here, course home, right? Again, this is going to look a little different for you, but you will have a section that says assignments. If I go to all assignments, you will see in here, there is the 7.9 assignment. Now, when I made these, 7.7, 7.8, 7.9 were together, but this is still it. This is the 7.9 online assignment. And so if you feel like you don't understand 7.9 that well, you could do this online assignment. These are always optional, okay? The things that you must do are the videos, the textbook reviews, and looking at these core ideas and see if you understand them. You have 2 quizzes per section. You find the quizzes on the textbook. See it right here? Summer assignment part 1, origin of life, speciation, classification, and phylogeny, quiz 1, quiz 2. My recommendation is to do the videos, see what you feel like you understand. Do the textbook chapter reviews, see what you feel like you understand. Then go do the Albert. And then after the Albert, come back here to the textbook and do quiz 1. When you're done with quiz 1, say to yourself, between what I checked off, the Albert, the quiz, what do I want to do optional assignments for? Do I feel all right with 7.9? Cool, let's go down to 7.10 and see what I should do here. Do I feel like 7.13 is something I don't really understand? Then maybe I do some of the optional assignments here, okay? That is the way I need you to approach this. Once you feel like you're done with the optional assignments, once you feel like you're done with what you do and don't understand, then you are going to go back to the textbook and you are going to do quiz number 2. And then for now, you're done. You are going to do some review on the AP classroom, but I can't give you access to that until we're back in school because I need you in your sections before I give you access. So for now, this is how you use the textbook. Hopefully that's helpful. I'm sorry it took me so long to get this. I had to wait to buy the extra codes for the textbook, and that couldn't happen until after July 1st. And then last week, I was doing a workshop all day, all week.